Hi, so if you clicked on this video, you're probably wondering how I won money to go study abroad. I do want to say before I start that I am studying abroad with the program USAC, and I am going to London. So there are definitely a lot less pricier places that you can go to, but I knew that if I wanted to study abroad and if I wanted to spend time and money, that it had to be somewhere I liked, and that was London. I think that mentality also, knowing that I'm going to London, is what kind of made me not want to bother my parents as much as possible, and it kind of prompted me to want to apply for scholarships. Now, when I found out that I had only 2 weeks to apply for scholarships, literally only had 2 weeks, I started working as soon as possible. I pretty much used all of my spring break to write my scholarship essays, and I was on a week-long deadline to write 6 scholarship essays. I even took off work. It was brutal. But I do want to say that I applied for 6 scholarships and I won 3 of them, which cover about 40% of my tuition fees, and I'll talk about the other 40% later. So it was a good investment. So how did this happen? How did I win? Tip number 1, I highly recommend that you guys look at any classes or webinars that your program, your study abroad program offers. So my study abroad program had a webinar on their website that I literally studied day and night because it had everything I could ever need to write a good scholarship essay that this program was specifically looking for. So they had examples on winning scholarships, and they had examples on losing scholarships and what differentiated them both. I made sure that the essays I wrote aligned with the winning scholarships, and I made sure that the essays I wrote did not align with the losing scholarships. So you can imagine I would write, go back to the webinar, edit, go back to the webinar, edit again, and I did this for a good 7 days. And because of this, I feel like it really made a difference in the way that my scholarship essay was approached by the committee. I also went to the scholarship specialist, or the mentor part of my program. She kind of overlooks the scholarship stuff, and she actually edited all of my papers in front of me. And she was really good because she told me exactly what I needed to do to cut out kind of like the unnecessary stuff and to add in the winning material. And it was very clear. She told me, like, you gotta cut this, you gotta do that, if you want to win you have to add this. And she was just so much better than, someone who's not familiar with scholarships. So go to someone who's been, who's had experiences with these scholarships. Go to them and ask them, like, what can I do to make it more appeasing? And yeah, that's the way to go about that. Tip number 2 is definitely something that I used to do all the time with scholarships, and that's why I would never win them. I would write pity stories. Don't get me wrong, okay, your pity stories are probably very important when it comes to scholarship writing because they document your experiences, they document your struggles, and that's all so important. But it's important not to stop there, okay? What these people are looking for in the scholarship committee is how your life relates back to the scholarship prompt essay prompt, and what your experience was, what you learned from it, how it changed you, and how do you apply that back to the prompt or your study abroad experience. So that's basically all they're looking for. Clear and concise. What happened to you, how it affected you, how you're going to use that in your life, what you've learned, how you're going to apply that in your life, more specifically, how you're going to apply that in your study abroad experience. So one of the essays that I applied for was a diversity essay, and I would like to think that I come from a pretty diverse upbringing. I'm American Bangladeshi, I'm Muslim, I went to a Korean high school. There's all these experiences that I had where I kind of struggled to identify with just one group. I kind of had to mix and mingle and kind of network. And I told them, like, it was difficult at first, but I've learned a lot of socializing skills and networking skills that I'll be able to use in London in case I'm feeling alone or if I need to branch out and create connections. And so you've really got to pinpoint them and tell them, like, this is what is gonna happen because I've learned these lessons. This is what I intend on doing. Be very confident in your intentions with the lessons that you've learned, and make sure they know. So don't overwrite Don't use big extravagant words. Okay, don't use words that you yourself have to look up, because if you have to look up, chances are they'll probably have to look it up too. Be creative, use words that are interesting, but don't make it too much. Make sure that you are writing enough though, because if you don't write enough, it might show the committee that you're not interested enough, and that's never a good thing. I had the issue of overwriting, which is a good issue to have because you can chunk it down more if you write. So just start writing, write whatever's in your mind, and then later on just keep editing. Editing is like your best friend. Editing is the word you should hold on to when you're writing your scholarship essays. And so yeah, I think those are my 3 tips in terms of scholarships. Now to talk about the latter 40% of how I received money. I already received grants in my university to be able to study at my university. I'm fortunate enough to receive those. And so the kind of system that my university has set up with USAC is that any money that I would have used towards tuition fees, or I would have received for tuition fee for that semester, I could use it abroad. So if you have something like this going on, usually in the form of Pell Grants or any kind of grants, I do receive 2 grants, then use that money to study abroad. You will not regret it, and you have such a great advantage and such a great opportunity to be able to use that abroad. And again, there are so many destinations on the list that could actually just fit right in the price, in the budget of what you're paying anyways, so you might not have to pay anything at all. So yeah, that's how I received 80% of my tuition fees. If you guys have any questions, please comment them down below. I'll try to answer them. And this is so weird, I've never done this before, but please subscribe if you guys want to see more study abroad content. I'll be making more videos from now until I go to London, which is in September. And once I'm in London, I will be vlogging my whole study abroad experience there, and I'm super excited for that. So yeah, I hope you guys found this informational. If you guys did, please give it a like, and yeah, thanks for watching.